You've done some work in the arena of magnetic frequency attacks on people. We get a lot of phone calls from people who claim that they think they're being bombarded. And, you know, at the face of it, you sit back and go, oh, come on, that's preposterous. But a lot of these people are pretty convincing that something's going on. What have you discovered?
Oh, I think it's definitely going on. The thing is that once you start to, again, understand we're into information, that if you are putting together your perception of reality, what are you doing it on? You're doing it on the basis of information that you have access to. So when you suppress information, you suppress people's perception of possibility. And once you start to realize how the body works, what the body is, and how the brain works and what the brain is, suddenly you can start to understand the effect and the power of magnetic fields on not just the human body, but human thought and human emotion. I read an article in my newsletter about a month ago about the connection between mobile phone masts and a system we are having forced upon the emergency services, police, etc. in Britain, called Tetra, which there are different versions of it around the world. And what these, I've got one, funnily enough, I've got a Tetra mast about 100 yards from where I'm speaking. And what they do is they're putting out frequencies in the same frequency band as human brain waves. And what is happening is that people are getting sick because it is scrambling the balance of the electrochemical signals going around the brain. Once you scramble that, suddenly anything's possible. It's going to manifest in emotional problems. People get really depressed. It's going to manifest in not being able to think straight. It's going to manifest in physical dis-ease, disharmony. And what is happening, George, is that we are being bombarded on so many fronts to scramble our ability to be physically, mentally, and emotionally balanced and healthy. And it's coming from many sources, not just electromagnetic fields, but that is one of them. Not just from tetramasts and mobile phone masts, etc., but also through the things in our food. When you look at things like aspartame, this sweetener, the best word I can use for it on a family show, which was introduced by the manipulation of Donald Rumsfeld when he was head of Cell Pharmaceuticals, which sold out to Monsanto at a vast profit. And when you look at mobile phone frequencies, when you look at fluoride in the water, they have a common theme, and that is they are what scientists call excitotoxins. In other words, they excite the brain cells so they stop functioning. This is what mercury in vaccines does. It affects the electrical messages going around the brain, and therefore it's affecting the communication on mental, emotional, and physical levels from the brain and the body and all these other levels. So it's not being done by accident. It's being done by design so that we operate on a fraction of our full and true potential to think straight, to be emotionally balanced, and to be healthy. So you know, I mean, I'm sure people. Some people imagine they're being attacked when they're not, but are some people attacked? Absolutely they are, and the electromagnetic attack is very, very powerful way of scrambling people, and it's done on many levels in many ways.
David, sounds like they're trying to cover all the bases on this.
Well, this is you know, sometimes you know, people can get into the mode where they're always saying things that are not very pleasant, not very nice, and those things need to come out so we understand what the game is. But it's also, ironically, what I've just said is extremely positive in this sense. They are having to attack us on so many levels, in so many ways, because we are multidimensional genius. We have forgotten that, We have forgotten the power we have, but just look at how much has to be done to suppress us, how it has to be done constantly in so many different ways. I've used this analogy before. I think it sums up the situation. Our natural state is one of brilliance, it is one of balance, it is one of harmony, it is one of love. That is our natural state. What we are seeing when people say, it's human nature, mate, you can't change human nature. Well, the nature of the human that we're seeing is the nature of a manipulated, suppressed and imbalanced human, and that is the outcome of what's being done to us. If you take this analogy of a ball in a tank of water, its natural state is to float on the top.
Right.
To keep it in its unnatural state, George, on the bottom, you have to push it down and you have to hold it there. You can't let it go. You have to keep holding it constantly, because once you let it go, whoop, it's back to its natural state. And in the same way, we are being attacked and targeted on all these different levels. Microchipping is the big jewel in the crown of this that they want. And they are having to do this because symbolically they have to hold us, the ball, on the bottom of the tank in our unnatural state, and they can't turn off the pressure, if you like, because bang, we'll awaken to the true nature of who we are.
Because the minute you let go of that ball, as you said, it explodes to the surface.
Exactly, and because it's what we call waking up. People have woken up, and what have they woken up from? They've woken up from a hypnotic trance, because that's what the human race is in. A hypnotic trance, a false reality, a false sense of reality, which we are living, because that is the reality that's being fed to us. And if you want to get into that, I can talk at length about how this is done and what this reality is that we're actually being falsely connected to. But the thing is that when people wake up, all that pressure just gets cast aside. Suddenly, bang, yes, I can see it now. Despite what they put in the food, despite the Tetramask, despite the mobile phone mask, despite all this other stuff, I can see it now. And that is the spark that we need to get out there, information, so that people can, because once they switch on, then all these things, it's like just shaking the flies off an elephant's back. Once you open up to the true magnitude of who we are. But while we're in the box, while we're in the trance, we are disconnected from our multidimensional infinite genius and power, and therefore we're a manipulator's party trick. Waking up from the hypnotic trance is the revolution.
David, I want to get your